everyone, I'm Carl from the Game Store in Lincoln, and today on What's in the Box I'm going to have a look at Next War India-Pakistan from GMT Games. This is the third in the series of Next War games. There's been Korea and Taiwan, and obviously guessing from the name you can tell it takes it to the India-Pakistan border. So let's have a look what's in the box. Okay, it's quite an attractive box, usual GMT standard. You can see nice picture on the front that fits in with the style of the system. All the boxes have that similar design on the front, and on the back, okay, information, historical information. Inside, start with usual, dear customer. This game we have standard and advanced series rules. Now these are used throughout all the series now. I think they've been updated a little bit since the game came out. The nice thing about the game is you've got the standard game where it's fairly standard sort of counter map game, hex based, move stuff around. You've got CRT which is odds based. You've got some nice little tricks in there as well, and you get air points. So instead of actually moving planes around, you get air points. However, in the advanced game, you get advanced naval rules, you get headquarters, you get more complicated supply, special operations. But the big change is the air power. Okay, you get individual air units, which I'll show you in a second. You get to fight for air superiority. You get to send your aircraft on missions. It's a lot more complicated, a lot more detailed. There's a lot in there. If you like modern warfare, you know, like reading about modern warfare, I think you'll like the system. Okay, after the standard rules, we then get the game-specific rules. Okay, these are what you'd expect. Special rules for this game, but also scenarios, you know, information about the units. The scenarios have all got a little bit of history behind them. This game does have nukes in there, tactical nukes, not strategic nukes, obviously. There are some slight differences because of this. They've introduced bridges. When you see the map, you'll see they've introduced high mountain. As you can imagine, being on the Kashmir region, there's a lot of high mountains around there. A couple of sheets. Okay, combat results table, terrain effect chart, very nicely done, nicely colour coded, very easy to read. Okay, you get a pair of those. Yet more tables, standard and advanced game tables. Okay, you've got air defence fire, you've got tables for power drops, you've got tables for bridge construction, stuff like that. Then you have a track. Now you use that to put your markers on when you're doing combat or when you're doing, you know, air superiority and things like that. You can track the numbers on there. Also, this is the track for the sequence of play. Now you can see that looks quite complicated. It's not as bad as it looks. It's not a really mega complicated game, but when you get all the air phases in, it can add quite a lot to it. Speaking of which, there's the sequence of play. That's the standard sequence of play. Okay, again, it looks complicated, not nearly as complicated as you might think it is. There on the back, you've got a description of what the unit represent, what all the numbers are. Okay, you've got headquarters, you've got infantry, you've got tanks, you've got planes, you've got supply markers, you've got boats, not necessarily in this one, but in the series as a whole you've got boats as well. Okay, reinforcement schedules. We've got Chinese, Americans, Russians, Islamic Republic of Pakistan and Republic of India. So yes, you can get Russians, you can get Americans, and you can get Chinese. Okay, now we've got the advanced game tables. Okay, this is what, 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. Okay, again, interesting stuff, special operations, collateral damage. You know, inside you've got the advanced air combat, advanced defence fire, advanced strike, so lots going on there, and of course advanced sequence play. Now this one, standard sequence play, is one side, this one has 2 sides. Again, it's quite well explained, there's quite a lot of text on there, but I don't think it's nearly as bad as you might think it is. Now let's have a look at the map. Now the nice thing about this one is, if you want to get into the system, you've thought about it and not sure, this is a one mapper, and it's quite a low density game as well. There's not hundreds of units on the board. Oops, sorry, I'll show you that first. It's a mountainous region, so certainly at one half of the board. So as you can see over on this side, you've got the mountains. The white areas are high mountains. They're very difficult to go through. Over this side you've got the plains, you've got Lahore, you've got Amritsar, you can see where the fighting is going to take place. But this area here is a very important strategic part of the conflict. Okay, it's one of the things they've been fighting about. So, important part. Again, one mapper, nice, easy to set up, nicely soloable, because you're not leaning over maps and you've not got thousands of counters. If you're playing the advanced game, you get an air superiority table. Okay, you put your planes on there. So, depending on which side you are, you'll sit with it like that. And you put units on when they've flown, when they're ready, when they're in recovery. Obviously they'll transfer around. And finally, counters. Okay, 2 sheets of counters. Well, sorry, 3 sheets of counters, let's get that right. Markers, okay, control markers, whether when you're clearing urban areas, things like that, they set those up. You've got your air units. Okay, this is mostly air, some of the airborne, bridges, destroyed markers. Quite a lot of planes. So if you're not playing the advanced game, you won't be using very many of these. But I would recommend going straight for the advanced game if you're a confident and experienced gamer. Here, you've got the ground units. Now, these are the ground units. Okay, as you can see, there's not that many. If you want to get into this game and you're just playing the standard game, that's pretty much the majority of what you're going to be using, even in the biggest scenarios. Even on this, there's more aerial counters. Okay, so you've got more planes. Plus you've got units, if you're not using the advanced rules, you've got the standard rules, you just use aerial points. Okay, nice selection of stuff, really top notch. The system's very interesting. If you're looking for a modern system, and you always like things like Next War, you like the old SPI stuff, Third World War, things like this. This is obviously slightly deeper in context and more into it, but I think you would find this a very interesting system. If you, like I say, if you want to get into the system, I'd highly recommend you get into the system with India, Pakistan, because you've got a much smaller game, you can find out whether you like it or not. Plus, the Korea game is quite hard to get hold of now, and it's actually fetching a premium. The Taiwan game is readily available, adds a lot more complexity because you get naval invasions. But again, I think if you like that and you like the system, you'll find them very playable, very easy to play. Okay, we've had a look at what's in the box. I hope you've enjoyed that. If you like this, don't forget to subscribe, and look forward to providing you with another movie next. Okay, bye.